Hey everybody, Vanessa here with the Red Circle podcast, and Ed is here with me.
Woohoo!
Yay! Today's episode we're going to be talking about the Kolbe personality test. Is it a personality test?
Yeah, Kolbe is it's not a personality test. It's the way that you react to certain situations. Okay. There's a name for it.
All right. Well, I took it. Ed has also taken it, so we're going to go over the results. And we're also going to talk about the 5 love languages and a little bit about men and women and relationships. Thanks for joining us today on the podcast.
Why is everybody so sensitive about everything nowadays? You know what I mean? Like, the only person that you can talk about negatively is a white guy, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Everybody else is off limits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't say you're an Hispanic girl. You know what I mean? I can't say, like you're a girl. I can't even say you're a girl anymore. Like, how ridiculous are we getting? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, no manches. That's what I want to say. Like, that's what this episode should be called. It's no manches. But I don't know. I think the problem with America is that we're too spoiled and cushy and whiny, and because I think there's a saying that says strong men create weak men create strong men.
I've heard it said, hard times make hard men, and soft times make soft men. Mm-hmm. And I completely agree with that. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting too. I do a book club with some other moms on the west side. Mm-hmm. And one of the ladies, she's an Indian woman. She grew up in India in extreme poverty. Yeah. She grew up in the jungle, like had to walk miles to get water. Yeah. So, and now she's here, like they're very wealthy, both drive Teslas, and her take on everything, we'll be in Zumba, 'cause she Zumbas, and it's hot, right? Mm-hmm. And people are like, oh, it's hot, and she's like, this is not hot.
Girl.
It's like 72 degrees, there's a fan right there, you're fine. And I love her take on things.
Yes.
She grew up in actual hardship.
Tiene huevos.
Yes.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they have balls. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the only people that should be able to talk trash, like, are people that have gone through struggles. Mm-hmm. Like, the people that should be whining. Like, let me tell you this, ladies. We'll go into the ladies.
Uh-oh.
Is that the most unattractive thing a man can do is be whiny. Am I right?
I'm in agreement.
It's like a total whiny guy is like the most unattractive thing. And it's just, that's everybody in America right now. Everybody's just, how much more of a victim? Like, they'll tell you a story about how they were a victim, and it's like, oh, but let me tell you my story. Like,
I'm more of a victim.
My daddy never gave me a pat on the head and told me I was the best kid in El Paso. And you're like, dude, like, do you know people don't eat?
Yeah.
Do you know that, like, there's people rummaging? I'll give you a story. And I think maybe this is why I'm a little different. My dad used to do missionary work. Mm-hmm. And one time I was in Juarez in a mission, in a church, and there was people coming to this church through, like, I don't know if you've ever been in Juarez when it rains, but there's, like, no way of the water to go away. It just fills the streets, mm-hmm. right? And there was ladies going to church, pulling their dress above their head, and walking in the street with all the water, mm-hmm. And I was like, these people are crazy. Like, Americans would never even go to church. Like, the streets were flooded. They were, like, in their house, like,
it rains a little
calling
bit,
FEMA.
And
you know what I mean?
Was staying home.
And so after that, we were, like, me and a couple of the kids, I was like 8. We're in the back playing soccer in the back, right? And there was this little boy, and I noticed that he had one shoe on. Mm. Right? He had one shoe on. And I went over, I was like, dude, you lost your shoe. Like, what the heck? And then the boy goes to the corner and he starts crying. And I was like, And I'm 8, you know what I mean? I don't know what the hell's going on. So I go over to him and I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, and then the other kid tells me, it's because he only has one shoe. I was like, what do you mean you only have shoe? How do you buy one shoe? Did you steal it? Like, that's the first thing I thought, you know? Because they only have, like, the one shoe at the store for, like, the display, so you can't steal the shoe.
Yeah.
And remember, like, forgive me, because I'm 8 years old. And then the kid goes, he's like, no, I found it in the trash. And I put the shoe on, right?
Yeah.
And as a little kid, my heart broke. Because little kids are sensitive, you know? Like you used to, like little Addie, like our little Addies, they would be in tears.
They would, yes.
You know? But my reaction was, take off my shoes and give them to the kid. And my dad had just bought me new shoes, new Nikes. And then I took off my jacket and I gave it to the kid. And I remember getting in the car and my dad's like, where's your shoes? And where's your jacket? Go get your shoes and your jacket. And I was like, no, I gave them to the boy. What do you mean you gave them to the boy? He's like, I just bought you these shoes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have my old ones at the house, right? And I didn't live with my dad, so it was like, to his defense, you know, he would buy me shoes because my mom would give him a hard time. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like kind of like there's more to that.
Yeah, that dynamic. Yeah.
But yeah, like there's people that rummage through trash for shoes. You know what I mean? Like you Americans whining about your latte is too hot. Like you should be thrown in the river. Like
yeah.
You know, they don't know what it's really like to struggle.
Yes. Yeah, 1,000,000%.
So I don't know. I think that's what. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about today.
But it's important to talk about.
Squirrel. Squirrels are fun. You know, but that in a sense tells me like, you know what, like people need to toughen up. Like,
yeah.
And that's why people that come from immigrant countries, like they appreciate America more. They're more successful in America because they don't have this huge chip on their shoulder. They're more prone to have more kids. You know what I mean? You know, all those kinds of things. So I don't know. I just think that there should be a lot more appreciation, gratitude for what America offers people. Like the poorest guy on the street with a sign has more access to clean water than like the average person in the Philippines.
Yeah.
You know?
The average person in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we poop in clean water. Like people don't even understand that. You know what I mean? Like we poop in clean water.
Yeah.
Like that's so crazy to the rest of the world. Like technically you could take a cup and put it in the toilet and drink that water.
Yeah.
Because it's the same water that we get out of the tap.
Yeah.
You know, and now we're all bougie. We don't even drink out of the tap, right? We're like, oh no.
It's got to be bottled for me.
Fiji only. I don't drink Fiji water. You know, like we import water from Fiji.
Yeah.
In a plastic cup to drink it. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, so let's get into. You took your test.
Yes. I did the Kolbe test.
You didn't get a chance. Like you took the other one, but for some reason you can't get it.
Yeah, I can't access it right now. The Myers-Briggs. That one was a long one. I didn't like that one as much. I felt like sometimes when you take the test, I'm like, I don't know if it gets me. But I haven't looked at the results
Myers-Briggs is so strange. It's definitely one of those out of the box ones.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to the Myers-Briggs. Like, we could spend a whole day on Myers-Briggs.
Oh, nice.
We really could.
Well, I'm excited to look at that one. Kolbe, I like the questions a lot.
Yeah, Kolbe is my favorite. Because Kolbe's not really a personality test. It's an instinct test.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So, it comes at it differently. It's not so much like your personality. It's more of your tendency. So, like, if you're faced with this dilemma, are you going to do A, B, C, or D? Like, you know, are you going to be more prone to... So, like, say, for instance, somebody says that F word, right, in your public. Are you going to shake your fist? Are you going to punch him? Are you going to call your friends? Are you going to go and do some research? You know what I mean? Like, those are kind of like the questions. They don't have any questions really like that. But
yeah,
in a sense, when you're faced with this problem, what's your first natural reaction to how to solve that problem, right? So I'm looking at your results here. So the number one is fact finder. So fact finder is the researcher. Fact finder, who's going to be high in fact finder, is Jake.
Yes.
Jake's going to be husband. A high fact finder, right? So Jake is one of those guys that he drills down into information rather than goes broadly across information. So you are a 6, so you're not high and you're not low.
Okay.
You're
6
in
out
the
of 10.
middle. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That sounds right. I'm not. If I like something, I will. Like COVID, I was so afraid. I was like obsessed with like taking care of my family. I drilled down into that. But most things I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and then I keep it moving.
Yeah, see, because that's where it is. You can play both sides. You can play both sides. So a really high fact finder cannot not know everything about a certain situation, or they won't make any movement towards it.
Yeah.
So me, I'm on the other side of the spectrum, where I'm on the bottom of fact finder.
Really? I was surprised by that.
So what they call me in the bottom of the fact finder is a simplifier. So I can take a complex information and then I can simplify it. I can give you a gist. Like I can ingest so much data because my filter's pretty heavy. Does that make sense?
It does.
So that's why, like, I don't remember anything, and I just tell my wife, like, hey, we're gonna do this. So remember, you know what I mean?
You're so lucky to have Sephra.
Oh yeah.
She's the best.
She's the opposite.
She's like, got the schedule.
Like, let me give you an example. You know how long I've been trying to get Sephra to take this test, and she refuses to take it.
Really?
She's like, no, that's stupid.
Jake, did he explain why he didn't?
No.
He just won't. He won't even talk about it. He's like, no, I'm uninterested.
Yeah,
and I'm like, well, I would love to know.
Yeah. I want to know. Like, I'm supposed to know about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just funny the way that they look at things.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, this is my world. Like when I found Kolbe, it was like so groundbreaking because I was like, oh, now I understand why I'm this way. You know what I mean? So it's funny, being introverted, you would be interested to know how you work. In my mind, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think they've already figured themselves out because they're so inside their head.
To tell
like, I got it. Yeah. You're crazy and I'm right, and you're dumb and I'm smart. No, so so you're in the middle of the road. So you do get facts, but you also don't care as much about. There's like you can play both sides of that fence.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Follow through is the other one. So follow through. Sometimes these names are kind of odd. So follow through is not necessarily if you follow through or if you don't follow through. It's how you follow through.
Oh, makes
so now you can go through this, and Kathy will tell you how amazing you are. She's the best. Her father was one of the persons that was on the creation of the IQ test.
Oh.
So that's where this kind of comes from. So it's more scientific, and it's very different. So like they'll put the personality test in one genre, like that video I sent you, and then they'll Kolbe is like way over here. It's like not even in the same genre of like the 5. So it's very different. So your follow through and your fact finder are high. Follow through means like you don't like change as much as, say, me. My follow through is very low. So I'm very adaptable. I'm very much, I can deal with change. I like change. I don't mind change. So people that have a really, really high follow through, it's like Jared. So like Jared, like one time, like he would get mad, like if his mom called me and I needed to pick him up, and I would just be there at the school. What are you doing here? And he would
It's supposed to be mom.
because it's out of the order.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's not my fault.
You're getting picked up. Be grateful.
Don't yell at me, you know? Or if I'm late or something like that, that really bugs me. If it's out of this order, so if you're real high in follow through, order and systems is everything. So they call.
So what was my number?
6. So you're 6'6". So you're right in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
Of both. 6 is not in the middle. 5 is the middle.
Yeah.
So 6 is high.
Yeah.
So it's like one deviation higher.
Yeah.
So both your fact finder and your follow through is closer to being systemizers and closer to being wanting more information. So less than not wanting information, you're more tendency to want more and more order.
Yeah.
Quick start is the one that me and you connect with.
Okay.
So I'm an 8 quick start. So I'm 338.
Okay.
And you're 667.
Okay.
So the 7 is quick start means you're officially in the top rank. So 7, 8, and 9 and 10 are in the top ranks. So you're in the top deviations, and that means that you are like somebody that just jumps into stuff. You can jump into stuff and push through quickly. The low quick starts are like anchors.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't like any of those things. So they don't want to modify as much and change as much, and they're more prone to maintain rather than jump into something new.
Yeah.
So they're gonna keep the same job for 50 years or the same type of job, where me and you will just say, hey, let's start a podcast, and we'll just do it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, I don't know, like, I think the mics work, and I think the software and lights, I think, and I lost the camera. I don't know where it is. I swear I lent it to her, but I don't know. And because I don't trust my memory, I'm like not dogmatic about it. So, you know, that's the truth. Yeah. That's the truth. And it's like, it's fun to live with quick starts because we at least try new things. We're not boring. You know, like that video that Sephra sent us. Right? It's like, I have an extrovert so that my life is not boring. And I can go to parties and listen and pet the dog and then go home and felt like I did.
Yes.
Right? What was that video? I love that video.
That was so funny.
So
it was very accurate.
The last one is the implementer. This is the hardest one to understand.
Okay.
It took me a while to kind of grasp it. So it's more of how you implement. So like, it's funny the way that they title them, you could construe them different. Like your natural tendency is like, do you have follow through? No. It's how you follow through. And then fact finder is like, do you care about facts? It's not that you don't care about facts. It's that you like, I'll water my facts down to nothing, where you're more prone to keep more details. Okay.
What was my number on that?
Implementer's 2, so it's low.
Okay.
So high implementer is physical. So like, when I implement things, I'll dive into the physical thing, or when you're disseminating information, you have to physically do it, but you can do it in your head. Okay? So I can't do it in my head. Well, I'm more of a 6. So my number's a 6, so it's closer to the higher part. So I don't tend to do it in my head. I tend to just do it physically. So I'll learn things physically. I'd rather do it tangibly. A lot of the times, like, that's why I have a notepad, so I can write things out, or I'll grab the salt shakers and the cups, and I'm like, okay, this is how you explain. Yeah. That's how I disseminate information. Where other people is like, we could just talk it out and I'll get it. Now let's go into the love languages. You took that before, right?
I have, yeah.
Okay, that's when I noticed that was on here.
Yes. The thing that I like about these things, and especially the love languages, you understand yourself, and then you can have the people around you take these things and then fully understand them.
Yes.
And like in like the love languages and in a marriage and a relationship, in your family life, understanding the love languages, you get people better. You understand why they do what they do, how you can help them, how you can, do better to serve them.
I think the one thing that people are scared of is that they're going to be put in a box. And I don't want anybody to put me in a box. And I don't want to put anybody in a box. I just want to better understand people so that I can give them what they want.
Yeah.
And live more peaceably and have more understanding. So that's how I see it. But some people, they see it like, I just want to put you in a box and you just want to do what you want to do or whatever. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So what's your level of your love language?
I am acts of service and gift giving.
Wow. So no wonder you and Sephra get along. So that's exactly Sephra.
Yeah.
My wife's the same way. So she's acts of service and gift giving. I think it was quality time and physical touch, and then words of affirmation. But hers was kind of like your Kolbe, where it was like a nice little gradual roll down.
Not so extreme.
Was yours extreme, or was yours like do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't.
Mine was extreme,
of
like
course.
always. And it was words of affirmation and physical touch, and then 3, so it was like 9, 9, 3, 1, 0. So like I care nothing for acts of service. I care nothing for gift giving.
Yeah.
Like only one.
Yeah.
Like one question out of like 60 or whatever it was. And then 3, quality time. And then physical touch and words of affirmation. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. So, like, I'll give you an example of how it helped my marriage. So I would be in the living room watching TV. She would be doing dishes, right? I'm not going there. That's for another podcast. And then I would be feeling unloved because I wanted her to come sit with me and snuggle with me.
Yes.
While I watch TV.
Yes.
She's feeling unloved.
Because you're not helping.
Because I'm not helping around the house.
Yes.
Right? So it's this weird dilemma, and it's more understanding what the other person is actually understanding.
Yes.
And if you can give the benefit of the doubt, ladies, please to God give the benefit of the doubt. Don't think it's always a conspiracy. It's not always like this grand plan to ruin your life and make your life miserable. No, it's just how we are. Once we did that, and I was like, this is what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it got done.
What's that movie with Vince Vaughn and the other thing? He's like,
The Breakup.
Who wants to do dishes?
I want you to want to do the dishes.
And he's like, who wants to do dishes? It's like, she's like, and it really is interesting because it's like, I want your pound of flesh is really what it is. I want you to suffer like I suffer.
So it's not about the task.
It's not about the task.
That's resonating with me.
It's so true.
Oh, shit.
It's so true because if I'm going to go through all of this, so there's that busybody personality that can't sit still, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other one like me who is perfectly fine sitting in a mess and watching a movie. Just eating popcorn and making more of a mess.
Oh my God.
I'm perfectly fine there.
Yeah.
I can like to a certain level of squalor. Right?
Squalor.
And then there's the other person that can't do anything until everything is done entirely perfect. Then there's a scale in this, there's levels.
Yeah.
Right? So what I think is just understanding both sides, and then you could do it. So like the easier one for me is the gift giving because it doesn't require so much of a pound of flesh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to me, like a pound of flesh is like every day we wake up, Sephra makes the bed when we get out of the bed. I think it's pointless to make beds. Jordan Peterson would be very upset. Right. I'm sorry, Jordan Peterson, but I'm a work in progress. Okay. But I think it's pointless to make the bed because we're just gonna get back in the bed. There's no point. It looks nice, but there's still plenty of other things that needs to be cleaned in this house that's not clean. Now, granted, my solution was to get a maid, and it worked. But now my maid, due to inflation, priced me out.
Due to inflation,
she priced me out of the market. I called her bluff and I lost.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I had a maid, and she was like, she wanted like a 40% raise.
Oh dang!
And I said, no, I can't do that. And then she was like,
okay, bye.
Okay. And then she stopped answering my calls.
Oh.
And I'm like, no.
I needed you.
That's why I need to find a new maid. So if anybody knows a new maid, let me know, because it's like the struggle is real right now. Because I'm like trying to keep up with stuff, and it's not like I literally have like so many dishes that I have to do right now. Like I was there for 3 hours yesterday.
When we came over yesterday.
Yeah,
you looked like you had.
Yeah, and I was exhausted.
Been working.
You know what I mean? And I'm just not good at that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if it's the way that I think, where I think more on, like, or back to the original Greek, where it's purpose driven. How do you, what's your dynamic? So between you and Jake.
With gift giving, that was one of the things that this helped with, love languages.
He's a gift giver, or you're a gift giver?
I'm the gift giver.
What was yours again?
Acts of service and gift giving.
Yeah, that's you and Saffron.
Yeah. So with gift giving, I love making things for people. I love giving gifts, and I don't do it for anything back. But I'm not really around people that do that back.
Yeah.
And I love holidays. Like, I love the holidays. I love decorating. I love celebrating them and anniversaries. Jacob doesn't think about any of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
His brain, my birthday, Valentine's Day, anniversary, I don't get shit. I get nothing. Zero.
No.
Zero. And you know Jacob. I'm like, zero. He is a very, like...
I'll talk to it.
It's not going to work, Ed. I've done all the things. I put it in his calendar so that it would get a reminder a week before. Our anniversary's in a week. Blah, blah, blah. I just got used to not receiving gifts.
Oh.
But Jacob is an amazing person.
He is.
Like,
he's super catch.
I'm not going to... He's a super catch.
Yeah,
he literally is.
I'm not going to refund him just for this.
Yes, exactly. Even my dad is like, I wasn't going to let this one get away. I'm like, Dad, what does that mean? But he's a great guy. So that was just something that, like, I had to get used to. And it's not that he doesn't care about our anniversary or doesn't care about Valentine's Day.
Oh, it is, because I am the same way. I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
I mean, he cares about the anniversary. Like,
I care about the anniversary, but I don't care about the gift.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, my gifts are so bad. Like, it's so hard for me to wrap gifts. Oh.
At least you get a gift, though. I would just like a flower, like pick a flower.
It's because I learned it from this. You know what I mean? So it's and then also I'm very purpose driven, so I can see if I give her a gift, then she'll get off my back.
It's not that it made her feel good or happy.
Because to me, I don't get that feeling when I feel it at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't get that feeling at all. It's more, the way I look at it is more of there's two bank accounts, right? There's a bank account.
Okay.
And I can make withdrawals or I can make deposits.
Okay.
So buying the gift and taking the time to go get roses and do that whole thing is a deposit.
Yeah.
And I hope she understands how out of character it is.
Yeah.
You know, like,
so it's
like
extra special.
This is a pound of flesh.
Yeah.
You know? So
here are your flowers.
It's like I'll go and this is what I do every Mother's Day and Valentine's Day is I'll go get flowers and then I'll take it to her work. Yeah.
That's a good one.
See?
So you're walking in, all the ladies are, ooh.
Yeah, because it's
like,
not about the flowers. It's about that her friends didn't get flowers.
You are correct. That's part of it.
It's about showing off. I understand you girls. Yeah. So as I understand it, then huge deposit. Nailed it. You know, so if I need to not wash dishes, it's like just withdrawing, from the flowers,
Yeah.
that were deposited the year before, you know what I mean? She's like, I'm not going to refund this one because he brought me flowers on Valentine's, and no other guy did that.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's the deposit, right? So it's like, that's how I look at it. It's just like I'll do deposits so that she can deal with my natural withdrawals from her natural process. Right?
I like that visual. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I see it. So no gifts. Wow, that's surprising.
I know.
Because he's a giving guy.
He's a very giving guy, and he gives of himself. Like he listens.
The acts of service is there.
Yes, all of the acts of service are there.
He's probably an acts of service guy.
He is an acts of service guy.
So
he's a snuggle bug too. Okay. He likes physical touch. Yeah.
Okay, that's surprising.
So those are his too. I know, right? You wouldn't think that.
I think it probably has to do with his upbringing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably like he's used to not getting it.
Yeah. So when we sit on the couch, we're like sitting on the couch.
Aww, I can see it.
He's a snuggle bug.
I can see it.
Yeah. So those helped. That helped a lot with me understanding me, and then Jake understanding me, and he tries. It just doesn't. Like, he'll do it the day of, which is, like, nice, but also you didn't think about it. I want, like, the thought behind it.
You want the pound of flesh.
Yeah. The way that you're saying that, you're right. Because he showed up with some nice things, but he was like, oh, shit, I forgot. I'm going to go to the store real quick.
Yeah, you just lie. Just lie, Jacob.
Listen to Ed. But yeah, and then understanding him too, because,
So from our perspective of people that don't care about gift giving, I think Valentine's Day is just a big scam.
It's a fun heart scam.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know.
I want glitter and hearts and flowers.
It's just like, I'm going to go somewhere. So it's just like, okay, Mother's Day.
Okay.
Mother's Day is right below Christmas, right? So you have Christmas, Mother's Day, like Valentine's Day, like Halloween, like Groundhog Day. All these, right? And then on the bottom is Father's Day.
Yes.
Right? Like nobody cares about Father's Day. You could look up the statistics on Father's Day and how much money is spent on Father's Day. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's very minuscule.
Yes.
And it's because nobody really cares.
The dads don't care either.
Yeah.
I think if the dads cared, like, do you want something for Father's Day? Because you get stuff for Father's Day.
I do. And except for because she's a gift giver.
She's so good at it.
She does all this
The girls, all the things.
Yeah.
And you appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, I like stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like stuff. It's not that I don't like.
But if it didn't happen,
it's not that I'm not materialistic.
Yeah.
Me being a non-gift giver does not mean I'm not materialistic.
Yeah.
I just don't give it as much meaning as maybe you do or Sephra does.
Yeah.
That like Sephra, she'll create this present, and you have to open the present in the manner in which she wants you to open the present. Oh, don't grab there, or grab this way in the bag, and you're like, okay. See, you get what I'm saying.
I get it. Right? Yes.
And it's so ridiculous to me, but it's what makes her happy. Yeah. So then I have to. There's nothing wrong with gifts. Like gifts, I get it. So like the other thing too, is it's not even necessarily the amount of the gift, or and this is because I'm I'm very good at observing people. I'm a people reader. So when I realize it's not about the amount, it's not even about how well it's about the pound of flesh. It's about the pound of flesh. It's about what did you struggle so you could get this. So if I told her a story, I had to drive to California to meet this lady and go on a boat to an island to get this thing. And then I walked all the way back.
With no shoes on. My feet are still bleeding.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you love me. You really do love me. And it's and like I'm being facetious, but exaggerating.
Yeah.
But the truth is that.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and it's okay. So I can understand. So like now I'll take mental notes when she like at a store, or she wants this and she wants that. And it's funny because I buy more stuff for myself than she buys for herself. And she's a gift giver, which is kind of strange.
Yeah. Because we're thinking about others. And then if it, like, especially when you have kids, like, my brain is always on them.
Yeah, she's always buying stuff for these kids. And I'm like, you gotta stop buying stuff. That's more of a problem than the other thing. So it's like, how many stuffed animals do we need? I have like
They love stuffies.
Yes.
Your girls love them.
Oh my God, stuffies. And then, so it's just a difference. So now I'll buy, I'll you know what I think? And this is kind of, whenever Sephora sees this, we can answer this question.
Okay.
Is every now and then I'll go, and we have this thing for, what's that Chinese restaurant chain?
P.F. Chang's?
No, the other one.
Where is it?
The one that like more to go-y.
Payway? Panda Express.
Panda Express.
Okay.
So Panda Express has really good like brewed iced tea. It's like this weird blend of tropical, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Of deliciousness.
Yeah.
and it's brewed, so there's no sugar, there's no nothing. So we drink our tea and our coffee black. And so I'll go sometimes and I'll just go pick her up
that's nice.
Large tea, right? And then I'll just take it to her work. Hey, I'm outside, come and get it, right? Because I'm always out and about. And I know that makes like huge deposit over here. You know what I mean? And it's not the money thing.
Yeah.
It's you were thinking about me. It's unexpected. The unexpected gift comes through a lot.
It does. Men, take notes.
We're even getting a nod from the crowd. The unexpected gift. And then it's also something that you kind of share, like this kind of like weird thing that nobody knows about. Well, I guess everybody knows about. Like stuff like that.
It's thoughtful.
Yeah.
It's
or
thoughtful.
like the other one is like, woo. She likes Snicker ice creams.
Those are the best.
You did like a Homer Simpson.
No, but they're the best.
They are.
If I could only have one ice cream for the rest of my life, it's that one.
They're
it's
really
so good.
But they can't be like too frozen.
Okay.
They have to be like a little bit soft. Because if not, it's just too much ice cream. It's just like you're eating like solid ice cream.
Yeah.
So, like I'll go and I'll get some, or like she likes the picante corn nuts, so I'll go find them because they're very hard to find. So I find them, I'll get them, but I don't make it a big deal.
That's sweet.
But I know that I'm making those deposits.
Yeah.
For dishes in the future. You know what I mean? It's a deal. You know what I mean? So, and that's okay. Like if guys would understand these things. Is you don't have to look at it as like you're being a little bee. Because that's how guys feel. Yeah. They're like, I'm just doing what my wife tells me to do, or she's winning the battle or whatever, right? Yeah. It's not that. It's like if you will make her happy, she might make you happy somewhere else. Yes. You know what I mean? That thing that you want every night. I remember a funny question. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was talking to her mom. And her mom is so awesome. Okay. To talk to. Okay. Like, if you get to talk to her mom, she's not like Sephora. Her mom and her are like polars. Okay. She's like more, I don't even know how to explain her mom. But we were talking about that kind of stuff. Yeah. Like in the bedroom stuff. and was Sephora there? I don't even think so. Oh my God. Okay. We were like in the front in the porch because she was here for like 3 months. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, and she was saying, and I was like, let me just clear something up for you. I was like, every night the guy is ready. He's down. Okay. Like maybe an exception is like 3 or 4 days a year. Okay. But other than that, he's good to go. He's good to go, and he probably would like to. Okay. Okay. you know?
Right.
And I was, and she was so shocked by this thought, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I know you girls don't want to as much, but we do.
Yeah.
And it's not something like I'm a freak or something. It's just the way God made me. You know what I mean? Like, so God made me to want to do it every day. It's not me. It's not me. Like, this is my body. Like, I'm in here the same way you're in your crazy body that does crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That you have postpartum depression. You know what I mean? Like, like you didn't want to have postpartum depression. Like, it just happened. Yeah. That's how it happens to us. Yeah. Totally. So, like I'm not trying to compare that, but I'm just giving you an example of like the struggle that men have. You know what I mean? And we don't think straight if like it goes too long. Yeah. Like we start being weird. Yeah. And girls that keep it like in a vase under the sink in case of emergency. Yeah. You know what I mean? They break glass so you can pull it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you are torturing your man. Your man. Yeah. You're torturing him. Yeah. And you're breaking his mental state. Yeah. Like he's literally not right in the head. And we know those guys. Yeah. And they probably in the bathroom by themselves for way too long. Oh no. No. And that's not healthy for men. Yeah. You know?
Well, our bodies were made for sex. It's important.
Like especially the guys.
Our bodies.
The girls made for selection. Mm-hmm. The guy's just made to do it.
It's interesting though. I need to look it up. But I was talking to, I forget who it was.
We are way off subject.
I think it was my brother-in-law. He's a chiropractor.
Jacob's brother?
No, his sister's husband.
Oh, your sister's.
No, Jake's sister's husband.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. There's 6 of them. 3 girls, 3 boys. Wow. Yeah. So
they took that literally when they said be fruitful and multiply.
They were Mormons, so that's what you do. And I'm grateful because Jake's number 5 of the 6. So
it was like at the end of the at the end of the rotation.
Yeah, we need to have him. But he was talking about the hormones that are released during sex, the hormones that are released during orgasm, how they affect the man, the woman. Women, we bond with our partner, but men's bodies physically need, I'll look it up. I'm going to find that information. Mm-hmm. They physically need our hormone release for their bodies to be good too. Yeah. Which is interesting. Yeah, yeah. Super interesting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of times where you're like at the edge of the bed and you're like, I didn't do it tonight. You know what I mean? It wasn't batting 1,000 a day. Oh no! And it's like just to be honest. Yeah. Just to be honest, like you never know. Like the guy doesn't have like the same way. Mm-hmm. Like so this goes back to like the foundational thing, the difference between male and female. Mm-hmm. A male has to arise to the occasion, and the woman doesn't. She just has to receive.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like it's different. Like the guy has to perform. Yeah. And the girl, it just is.
Yes, but for the final show of it, it's easier for the guys.
Well, no, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's
and then the guy has to do all the right things
for too long.
For too long.
You're gonna break it.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Guys are totally addicted.
Yeah.
And they don't know what else to do. Mm-hmm. And they get everything with nothing being asked of them. Mm-hmm. Like, if we really think about this is on a totally other subject, but if you really want to know what's wrong with men in the world today,
tell us.
It's that the average age that a boy is exposed to pornography is 8.
I didn't know it was that young, but
8
I'm not
years
surprised.
old. And this is average. So there's before that, right? And there's after that.
And the science on porn and how it affects men's brains.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And I talk to men.
And an 8-year-old. Oh my
these are the things I talk to men about all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. These are things I talk to men about all the time. Mm-hmm. Is that, and we could probably do the next episode on this because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
But we could talk I tell men all the time, and I have men, they send me how long it's been since they've broken. Because men are so addicted.
Wow.
It reprograms your frontal cortex.
Yeah.
And it's like in the hierarchy of things that your needs are, hierarchy of needs, it's like water and procreation in men. It's like the number one things we're programmed to do. It's like you see a gazelle running by and you're a lion. That's what women are. It's like, and they expect not to, and they're like showing off everything nowadays. Like, it's even harder now, right? Like, to keep that pure thought in your head where I can look at you in the eyes and not think about something else, it's very difficult for men. Especially if they reprogrammed it. They say it's like a heroin addiction. You know, because of all the dopamine releases that happen when you do it.
Yes.
And then on top of that, nothing is being asked of them. So in the natural state, I have to arise to the occasion, and then I have to succeed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if not, you kind of like, sorry, babe, you know.
Yeah.
Good night, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, don't look at me. You know what I mean?
Don't look at me.
And then,
Just cover up.
and then there's like the other times you're just like, yeah, you're on top of the bed with your arms raised. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's true. Like, that's how you did it. But for the all this last 15 years of boys that have been raised with this phone that they can go to the bathroom and put the headset on and watch the most wildest thing their mind can imagine at their fingertips just by clicking a button that says I'm 18 over. Anybody can click a button. That's not stopping anybody.
Yeah.
You know, they used to have cell phone companies used to be able to put restrictions on. They don't even do that anymore.
Yeah.
I can give a phone to my 8-year-old girl and
the internet is at her fingertips.
Yeah. I can't restrict it.
Yeah. There's
software that you can put, but it's like, you know, you got to spend extra money or whatever. But I say all that just to say that they're addicted. The 90% of males are addicted. Addicted, like heroin. And they don't know how to stop.
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
And the whole society is hinged on these men being men and having to come through for women, right? And if we don't learn how to come through for women because we're getting all of our needs met by ourselves in the bathroom, how are we ever going to fix this relationship, this imbalance?
That's detrimental. Yeah.
This imbalance is like, so think about a little boy. A little boy will go to his girl and be like, hey, I like you, right, as a little boy. And she'll be like, ew, you smell. He's like, oh, okay. And he runs away, right? And then he's like, man, I better shower.
Because I smell and she doesn't want to talk to me.
So then he's like, I better brush my teeth. And then he comes back and she's like, no, you're not cute. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, okay. And the boy's life of growth is all about the rejection of the woman. It is. It is. It's just this part of life as for a boy.
Yeah.
So, like I told you this once, the boy's value is not based on what he was born with. He has to create his value.
Yeah.
It's very similar to in the sex relationship where the girl just is and the guy has to become.
Yeah.
He has to perform every time, constantly.
Yeah.
And he has to have the courage to try rather than in the bathroom. He doesn't need to try. He gets everything he wants. He doesn't have nothing asked of him.
Yeah.
There's no possibility of failure.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't have that. And just like, what are we doing to these kids? Like, we literally can destroy a whole generations of boys with this thing. Like, and you can see the statistic. It's like 90% of boys.
Yeah.
And they're all addicted.
Yeah. And it's sad the things that they're watching. It's violent. It's unrealistic. Once they're old enough and they get in their own relationships, they think that that's how it's going to be, or that's how the girl's going to look, or it's all...
That's how she's going to like it.
Yeah, it's all, like, not realistic.
No, it's not.
And then it's detrimental. Like, I don't know, it's really sad. It's really crazy. And with cell phones, with the internet, with tablets, you know.
But that's the way that they build character, strength, courage, is through that stuff.
Yeah.
So if they're not able to build that character, it's going to be over.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today on this fun conversation. I hope you guys learned some stuff. I know I learned some stuff. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.